Yo, what's up, YouTube? Mike from True Business News. Today, we're back with an NFL video, free agency updates. Free agency started yesterday at 12 p.m. and bam, things got off with a bang. A lot of free agent moves right off the bat. And here we are. I'm going to recap as of 11:54 a.m. on March 16th. I'm going to update every single team and each team, what they did individually, what moves they made, what they gained, what they lost. Here we go. We're going to start off with the AFC East. We'll go by division, and we'll keep things rolling. The Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are a 3-year deal with Darrell Williams. Not sure who that is. John Feliciano. Once again, if you're a Bills fan, you know these guys. And they signed Matt Milano to a 4-year deal. On the other hand, the departures. Matt Barkley. Oh, there goes their backup QB. That was a big loss. Then we got TJ Yeldon, kind of irrelevant. John Brown, that's a big departure. Andre Roberts is a big departure. And then a couple other guys, who are expected to leave as well. Josh Norman might leave. And John Brown hasn't left yet. He hasn't really signed anywhere. But it's expected he might not come back to Buffalo. Then we go to the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins say bye-bye to Ryan Fitzmagic. We knew he was gone as soon as they benched him for Tua. Questionable moves by them. Then we got Matt Breida. Ooh, Matt Breida was irrelevant. They didn't use him properly. Couple irrelevant players, whatever. Kyle Van Noy, he's gone. Camus Grugier-Hill, he's gone. But what did the Dolphins get? The Dolphins got some decent players. We got nobody. They got Isaiah Wilson. They traded with the Titans, whatever. Ben Nordick, McKinney, irrelevant. And then a punter. All right. The Dolphins haven't been active yet, but they're pursuing Kenny Golladay, and they might just, if they get Kenny Golladay, him, Devontae Parker, plus those 2 first-round draft picks, maybe Devontae Smith, maybe Najee Harris. Oh, that offense will be looking pretty solid. So if they get Kenny Golladay, this would be worth it for them. And we got the Patriots. Oh, the Patriots are going ham. Bye-bye Cam Newton. Psych. We're keeping Cam Newton. We're going to get a 1-year deal up to $13 million. A lot of incentives in that contract. Now, Cam Newton obviously didn't have the best year last year, which is why they're bringing in the Hall of Fame receiver, catches everything, Nelson Aguilar, 2-year deal with $26 million. Yeah, that just seems like a match made in heaven. Cam Newton, Nelson Aguilar, what could go wrong? Kendrick Bourne, he's another speed guy. Him and Aguilar both are going to complement that offense pretty well. Maybe Edelman won't have to get triple teamed every play. Hunter Henry, I didn't even know this happened. I mean, this is probably recent. Hunter Henry to the Patriots is a huge deal. Wait, why'd they? Oh my, I guess they're signing Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith? That's crazy. This is live news, dude. Yeah, wow. They're paying $38 million to Henry and $50 million to Jonnu Smith. That's crazy. Double tight end. I mean, are they that salty that Gronk's not there? I guess, they're doubling down trying to find Gronk's replacement. But, I mean, Hunter Henry's a monster. Jonnu Smith, I'm not that impressed with Jonnu Smith, but he's definitely a solid tight end, too. They're rare in this league. Then offensive lineman Trent Brown, that's big. And then a couple other players, but they did get safety Jalen Mills, 4-year, $24 million deal. That's a pretty good move by the Patriots. Then we go to the Jets. The Jets get Corey Davis. Bravo. You like to see it. Yeah. Corey Davis, he's a good receiver. Had a very good year in Tennessee last year. And I think he'll help this team out a lot. The Baltimore Ravens, their only notable, signing if you're not a Ravens fan. Kevin Zeitler, they agreed to a 3-year deal worth $22 million. Boost up the offensive line for Lamar. The Bengals, they re-signed Brandon Allen. I guess Brandon Allen, he showed up in Joe Burrow's absence. Brought him back on a 1-year deal. Defensive end Trey Hendrickson, 4-year, $60 million deal. That's a pretty hefty contract for him. Chidobe Awuzie, the Cowboys cornerback, they got him to a 3-year deal. And some Randy named Clark Harris. The Cleveland Browns signed John Johnson, 3-year, $33 million deal. He's a good young player. That'll hold that defense. A lot of teams were pursuing this guy. I think the Eagles were in the mix. I was hoping they would get him. And I guess the Browns got lucky. There he is going to Cleveland. Now the Steelers, Pittsburgh has no money. I tried telling Dan. I told Dan, listen, Dan, you got no money, buddy. You're not signing anybody. He didn't believe me. And yeah. They got Cameron Sutton. He's staying in Pittsburgh on a 2-year deal. BJ Finley, some Randy offensive lineman. And they re-signed Ray McLeod. However, now we scroll over to the departure side of things. I would be afraid to even look at this if I was a Steelers fan. Let's see. The Steelers lost James Conner, potentially. James Conner, he wants to re-sign in Pittsburgh, but no news on that yet. Juju told teammates he's leaving, so I think Juju's gone. That's a big rip. Vance McDonald obviously retired. Marquise Pouncey retired. Bud Dupree left to the Titans. And then they still have like 7 or 8 free agents that still have left to be signed. And they're basically just pending to come back or pursuing other options. The Steelers, not in a good spot in free agency right now. The AFC South and the Houston Texans. Now, the Texans did decide to get rid of the whole entire team and send them over to Arizona. So they do need some replacements. Even if they're not good guys, they need some bodies on the field because everyone's, either refusing to play for them or they're getting traded. So they took washed-up running back Mark Ingram from the Ravens and they signed him to a 1-year deal. Reminds me of their signing of Duke Johnson Jr. I don't know how this is going to play out for them. They did get Andre Roberts. He's a good special team guy, all-pro returner. Then they got a couple linemen. They got Shaq Lawson in a trade, but they did trade their Pro Bowler Bernard McKinney. I don't know who that even is, but I'm pretty sure he's good, so it's suspect. Then they got Malik Collins, defensive lineman, Camus Grugier-Hill. I don't think he's that good though. And then a couple other players. Nobody that noticeable for the Houston Texans. The Colts got Carson Wentz in a trade with the Eagles. That's going to become official March 17th. So hopefully the Eagles cancel this, trade because they didn't even get a first rounder unless the Colts, stink. So I'm a little concerned as an Eagles fan, but if you're in Indianapolis, I suspect you're happy, even though T.Y. Hilton might not come back. If he does, more power to him. But the only real thing in Indianapolis, they got to worry about T.Y. Hilton leaving. The Jaguars, they've been active. Carlos Hyde, they signed him to a $6 million contract. Philip Dorsett, a couple linemen, nobody that noticeable. Rudy Ford, safety. And the Jaguars are looking pretty good. You know what? The only important story with Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence is coming. So just keep that in mind. Stay patient. Wait for the draft. And Trevor Lawrence will be here soon. The Tennessee Titans. They got Bud Dupree. A lot of teams were involved in this guy. They got him for an $85 million deal. Do the Titans, are they going to lose Jadeveon Clowney, or are they going to have Jadeveon Clowney and Bud Dupree at the same time? Surely they're going to get rid of Jadeveon Clowney, right? There's no way they can afford them both. Hold on, let me look at this. Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah, so Jadeveon Clowney is a free agent, along with a lot of other players from this Titans team who have still yet to be signed. Adam Humphries, Corey Davis obviously left. And then we got Malcolm Butler, Desmond King. A lot of free agents for Tennessee. They got Bud Dupree, but I'm assuming, they're losing a couple solid players down in Tennessee. Might be a little bit of a rip next year. The Denver Broncos, solid free agency so far. They re-signed Shelby Harris, good deal, $9 million per year. Justin Simmons received the franchise tag, good move, he's a good player. And they got Ronald Darby. Ronald Darby, he wanted to explore free agency, right? I'll stay in Washington, but let me explore my options. Nope, Ronald Darby's going to Broncos. The Broncos, they need a quarterback, so don't expect anything big until Drew Lock's out of town. Then we got the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they got Taco Charlton, whatever, but offensive guard Joe Thuney is signing a fat contract with his team, 5 years, $80 million. I'm assuming this is a little bit of they're a little upset about the Super Bowl where their offensive line decided not to play. So they're bringing in a good offensive lineman, Joe Thuney. However, the entire Chiefs roster is free agents. Not that many notable players, but DeMarcus Robinson, Sammy Watkins, they're going to have to take pay cuts potentially. Is Le'Veon coming back? I don't know. And also the entire Chiefs offensive line is probably on its way out. I'm not even joking. They're going to have a tough time paying all their linemen, especially after they just signed Joe Thuney. So keep your eye down in Kansas City. And I'm not interested. We know the Chiefs aren't really going to go out, get Kenny Galladay. But keep your eye out for the re-signings and who they let walk. That's going to be key down in Kansas City to run things back. The Raiders, they got Yannick Ngakoue. Okay, good for them. Defensive lineman, strong player. I think the Raiders are slowly building up a strong defense. And I think the Raiders' offense is showing potential too. They have obviously Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr can be a good quarterback. And I thought that they would keep Nelson Aguilar, which is interesting. But they let him walk, so that's a little bit interesting to me. I thought Aguilar had a really good year with the Raiders, but I guess not. So the Raiders might want to look at some wide receivers in the draft. Then we got the Chargers. Nothing noticeable for them. They got Corey Linsley to a pretty big deal for 5 years, and some guy named Michael Davis. Nobody knows who he is, but whatever. NFC East, the Cowboys signed Dak Prescott. Get scammed, dude. What are they doing? Jerry Jones literally just watched his division rival, the Eagles. He watched them pay Carson Wentz, who's the same skill level as Dak Prescott, and then Carson Wentz sucked, and all the money was a waste, and it was a whole mess. So Jerry Jones let Dak Prescott scam him. Oh, fine by me. Go ahead. Waste your $40 million a year, Jerry Jones. That's fine by me. This franchise is probably ruined. Then we got the New York Giants. The Giants, they did, who cares who they signed? Because if the Giants get Kenny Golladay, that would be a huge addition for this team. I think the Giants and the Dolphins are both the favorites right now. I think they're both, they both need Kenny Golladay. And I also think the Giants, I think they had a meeting with Marvin Jones as well. So if we can get one of those Lions receivers, I think they're going to be a strong offense next year in the NFC East. Not that hard to do, but I think they're still going to have a strong offense. Eagles don't have much money to play around with, so rather than signing a lot of players and, all that, they're more just focused on restructuring contracts and, bringing people back, maneuvering the money around. So not a lot of free agency moves from the Eagles. The Washington football team got Ryan Fitzmagic. He was going to retire, but then Washington gave him $10 million, possibly 12 if he does good. I mean, hey, I think that Fitzmagic is going to start for the Washington football team. I like this move too. I think it's kind of another bridge quarterback. They don't have a good enough draft pick to get somebody they like, so they're going to use Fitzmagic and see if they can win in a not that good division. So, and they get to keep Brandon Scherff from the on the offensive line with the franchise tag. So I think Washington's looking pretty good, especially if I think they're pursuing some faster receivers like Curtis Samuel, once again Marvin Jones. If they get help for Terry McLaurin, that'd be clutch for this team. The NFC North. Allen Robinson franchise tagged. Oh, he ain't happy. Bye-bye, Allen Robinson. The Bears, I don't know. Do the Bears not want to pay their best player or what? So bye-bye, Allen Robinson, I guess. They're re-signing Mario Edwards. He's a Randy. They're re-signing Cairo Santos to a 3-year deal. Finally, some kicking stability down in Chicago. And then they re-signed a punter. Okay. The Detroit Lions obviously traded for Jared Goff. They scammed the Rams pretty hard. Got a lot of good draft capital. They're signing Tyrell Williams, which is a big thing because the Lions literally have no receivers. Marvin Jones is gone. Kenny Golladay is gone. So Tyrell Williams, he's going to be one of their starting receivers most likely. And they also signed defensive lineman Romeo Aquara. They do need some more receivers though, so keep pursuing some guys in free agency, Detroit. You guys need them. The Packers made arguably the best signing in free agency. They convinced Aaron Jones to basically take a pay cut and sign back with the team. So Aaron Jones even said that there were other offers on the table and he could have made a lot more money with other teams, but instead takes the pay cut, $12 million a year for a really good running back, just so he can stay in Green Bay and play with the Packers where he wants to. Good move by the Packers. The Vikings, nobody that noticeable. A couple of linemen and a linebacker, Nick Vigil. Who knows? Nothing that noticeable down in Minnesota. The NFC South, Falcons have yet to be heard of. No important signings there. The Panthers, 2 offensive linemen. They franchise tagged one of them, and they signed Pat Elflein to a 3-year deal. Then we got the Saints. Looks like they're choosing Jameis Winston as Drew Brees' heir, and they signed him to a 1-year deal. That is only $5.5 million, but it does have a lot of incentives that could be $12.5 million, depending on how he plays. They have a good roster around him, so potentially Jameis Winston could be making $12 million this year. The Buccaneers, we already knew this would happen. Chris Godwin's back. He's franchise tagged. Gronkowski signed another deal. Shaq Barrett had a huge contract. Not surprised there. Levante David, 2-year deal. And I'm expecting a lot of players to either end up in Tampa Bay or come back to Tampa Bay. The NFC West, we got the Cardinals. All of their signings are irrelevant except for J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt, 2-year deal, $31 million. That was a huge signing. I don't think he was offered the most money by Arizona, but I'm pretty sure J.J. Watt knows what's up. He's like, yo, all my other Texan brethren are heading down to Arizona. Let me go see what's up. So there he is heading to Arizona. Good signing. The Rams, Matthew Stafford. Okay. They got Matthew Stafford, but what did it cost? It cost everything they had. No drafting this year for the Rams. And they also signed Leonard Floyd to a 4-year deal. Pretty solid player there. The 49ers signed Kyle Juszczyk to the biggest contract a fullback has ever had. 5 years, $27 million. It's worth it. He's a good player. Then we got a couple of linebackers and a couple of cornerbacks. Nothing noticeable yet. And then the Seahawks to wrap things up. Seahawks, nothing noticeable. No signings. I think they're interested in a couple players right now, but nothing has happened as of this moment. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know if I should update again when more signings come out. We're still waiting on Golladay. Still waiting on MJJ. A couple other noticeable players out there too. Let me know what you guys think down below. Where are they ending up? And make sure to smash the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.